Hello again, and thank you for watching my channel, and I would like to welcome you to this first video of the Alaskan Malamutes. And we're going to go through a few things when it comes to if you want to adopt an Alaskan Malamute or if you want to get a puppy Alaskan Malamute, then this is a good video to watch. Now, there are always lots of things that you think about before you get a puppy. First off, do you have room for your puppy? An Alaskan Malamute has a lot of need for a lot of spaces around it all the time. It needs a lot of big spaces because, well, it's a big dog and it needs to move around, and it might knock over a few of your things if your house is too small or if you have lots of sensitive things lying around. Now, first off, we're gonna go through, my house isn't really that big, it's kind of small actually, but I don't have a lot of fragile stuff lying around. I have kind of a sort of, let's say, clean walls when it comes down to like a meter, 1.5 meters down. It's not, you know, I don't have a lot of stuff lying around. And that's a good thing because they chew on things that they shouldn't a lot. So you should probably move those things out of the way, and before you get your puppy home with you, or if you decide to adopt one from a shelter. Now, I do often, or most of the time, I do indoors that you do actually get your Malamute from a shelter, or your dog, whatever dog it is. You should get it from a shelter first. Here in Sweden, getting a puppy is simply easier. I don't know how it is in other countries. I'm pretty sure that's why in Sweden people get puppies instead of full-grown dogs, because it's simply easier. Now, what you can do if you decide to get a Mal puppy, you should probably think about installing a dog yard on your lawn or somewhere near the house. Just not connected to the house, but near the house. I have mine connected to the house, but I've been very tough on my dogs when it comes to chewing on things, so we never do that, except for maybe if I've left them at home inside the house a half an hour or two. Now, don't get me wrong, there are always things that will make it, let's say, tough for you in the beginning, because your puppy's going to be different from other puppies, so getting help from the internet might be a bad idea. It depends on where you look and what kind of, tips you take in. Good idea simply to go on to, if you're in Sweden, the SKK or Swedish Kennel Club, or in the United States variant of that, or wherever you live, because they simply have the most information of that species or that race of dog that you want to get, like a Malamute or a Siberian Husky or whatever it is. But here on this channel we talk about snow dogs or sled dogs, so that's simply it. And first off, when it comes to, we're gonna go over food because that's kind of important. The food for the Alaskan Malamute has to have a high protein content, simply because it's a big dog. It's if you live in cold weather climate, which you should if you own an Alaskan Malamute. I've seen videos of Malamutes running around in Thailand, and dude, you should not have a Malamute if you live in Thailand. Those dogs were dying down there, and I don't want to see that again. So, but you do you actually, but it doesn't really feel that nice to the dog. I mean, if the dog is, it's in its like best climate when it's like from 15 to 35 degrees cold, which is really cold. When you get over 25 degrees, it starts to bite a little bit. Now, I live in a cold weather climate, live in the northern part of Sweden, which is, we have winter, let's see here, it's 8 months of the year, 7 to 8 months, and it kind of depends a little on the but 7 to 8 months, something like that. And so it's kind of a perfect climate for them over here. I've never actually had a problem except for this summer when we had like a heat stroke and he was just lying under the AC like all the time, and I had to go out with him at night because he couldn't go out during the day. It was simply too hot for him. I mean, my Siberian Husky, she didn't really have any problems, but my Malamute, he was dying. I couldn't go out during the day. Even I had problems over here. So I mean, that this will help you if you decide to get a puppy or whatever. Now when it comes, we're gonna go back to food. What you can do with your Alaskan Malamute is to introduce well, it depends on really what you want your Malamute to eat. You can go with just kibble, which is okay. There's whole foods of kibble that, you know, you don't have to really feed them anything else than the kibble that you give them. If you have, like, I think it's everything from 24 to 32 grams of protein, depending on what you do with your dog, what you use your dog for, and like if you use them just as like a family friend, you know, cuddle buddy, and eventually you go out with your dog, you know, like a normal kind of relationship with your dog, then I should probably go with like the 24 grams to 28 grams of protein. And if you're gonna go out and, you know, run from time to time, and you're gonna go out and you know, bicycle with the dog, or like go out and just let them loose every now and then, so they get to like get rid of some of the energy that they have, which is very important for the Malamute. I think you should get up to 32 grams of protein food kibble. Anyway, so I actually put some raw meat in there as well, because it is simply in their nature and they really like it, and there's a lot of vitamins in raw meat that you don't get in the whole foods that you actually need. So I would, if you have problems with your Malamute, with their fur or something like that, you should probably try to add some vitamins to their diet, because they can have a problem picking up the diets from the kibble, or picking up the vitamins from kibble. Sorry. So I think that's it about food. I feed my dogs 2 times a day, morning and at dinner time, so that's 2 times a day. And well, now when I have puppies, I guess I feed my husky 3 times a day, because, well, she needs it to be able to feed the puppies. So it's a little bit different right now, but usually it's morning and at dinner time. Now, if you watch this kind of content a lot, you know that there's a lot of these videos lying around on the web, and which is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own opinions about how to treat your dog, how to be with your dog, and how to sort of, well, with things and collars and harnesses and everything. Like, there's a lot of things, too much stuff that we don't actually need. I have two things for my dogs that they actually need. Everything else I just bought because I thought it would be cool to try. I'm gonna make a video in the future of the stuff that I own for my Malamute and my Siberian Husky. I'm gonna put out a few videos also of my Siberian Husky and the things that she uses. So she's gonna have her own video, but I'm gonna start with my Malamute. And this is the first part of that. So I'm going to go through a few things when it comes to the puppies I have, because, you know, as I can't say that I'm a breeder, because I'm really not. I'm just, let's say that my head wasn't turned their way when that happened and she got pregnant. So yeah, it happened 2 times. I'm gonna, seriously, this is not gonna happen the 3rd time, because she's gonna get, let's say I'm gonna, let's say, go to the veterinarian, and I'm going to make them do it so she can't have any more babies. From here on out, it's not gonna be any more babies. So no more puppies. This is the last time. But as a person that has had puppies, I'm going to say that last time I had 5 puppies. There were 4 girls and 1 boy. Now I had a lot of people calling me, texting me, emailing me about the puppies that should not even look a dog's way. They shouldn't even own a dog. They were, I wouldn't say crazy people, but I would say people that probably doesn't have the right mentality to actually take care of a dog. And I've actually counted the number that people that I didn't even basically look their way. I think it was 153, 154. I actually have it somewhere here. I don't know where, but it is. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can get that paper in order and I could put it into the video. But yeah. So and when it comes to everyone else around that I didn't want to get one of my puppies, I think I came up to 176 people that I just said no directly. No quarter given, just no, you should not own an Alaskan Malamute or a Siberian Husky or something in between. You should not do that. So just it's actually kind of hard as when you have puppies and you're gonna find new owners for them. It's really hard to vet the people that adopt one of your puppies, let's say. So it's kind of hard to actually just get the right people for it. And that's one thing you need to think about if you're getting a puppy. You need to have kind of the perfect mentality or the perfect, let's say, environmental things all around that. You know, like, do you have a job? Do you have a house? Do you have you have a big yard? Do you have do you live in a rural kind of place? Do you live in middle of a town? You should probably not, middle of a city. You should probably not own a Malamute. I would strongly advise not to get a Malamute if you live in the city. It's probably a bad idea because you probably live in an apartment, which they will destroy your apartment. I mean, every dog is different, but from what I've heard all over the place is that you should probably have a house with a yard or close to woodsy areas. That's kind of important, at least from what I've heard and from what I've been through. Even in my house, I've had problems sometimes. So I mean, it's you have to kind of think about those things before you actually even look at an announcement of a breeder or someone selling puppies. Of course, you should also look at if there is. You should probably look at papers on the dogs that the breeder has or the person selling the puppies. Because you don't want. I've had, I think it's 3 people now that have gotten puppies from me, and they in their turn have gotten puppies before, and they've always been sick, problem with their hips, problem with their fur, problem with their they've gone crazy. They've I mean, there's a lot of bad breeders out there. I'm not gonna say that I'm a good one, but I'm really trying. And I've never had a complaint, so that's a good thing. But so you're gonna have to think about a few things before you get a puppy. It's really important. So to make a budget, I mean, it's not when you go to the veterinarian. That's where the money goes, basically. I mean, if you want to think about money, that's usually where the money goes to the veterinarian. I have not been to a vet one time with my dogs. Well, okay, once with my Husky, because when we got the puppies they had to be ID'd and all that, the puppies, so that was, she didn't have a problem. We didn't even go in when she was gonna have her puppies. So yeah, we're gonna end this video right here because I want to get a part 2 out there as well. I don't want to make the video too long because, well, people don't watch too long videos. I just want people to really get the information so we don't get something like just click off in the middle of it and don't want to watch the rest because it's boring. So I'm not gonna do anything. We're gonna quit it right here. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.